All right. Beautiful thing. All righty, gang. Good morning. How's everybody? Nobody's in the front row. I don't know. I'm a little concerned here, you know. No, nobody wants to sit in the front row. You know. Joe Manuel. There you go. You got the whole row here, you know. All right, gang. The summer's almost over. Is this the last meeting for August? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay. So hopefully, and actually, I commend you guys for coming, because usually in the summer it's really slow. You know, kids are out of school, but a lot of you still came to the meeting, so come September, it might even be busier in here, which is great, okay?
They'll be here for the party at noon.
The party at noon, yes. In case I forget, Carrie will remind you. There will be, Suzanne did a great job with some tacos, beef, pork, chicken. I have a margarita machine that I bought for the office. What? I left it home. It's brand new in a box. I thought about it, actually. But I'm thinking about it, I thought no. But I promise we'll whip it out sooner or later, okay? But I think there's going to be some alcohol out there anyway. So enjoy. A lot of stuff to get to today. As you can see, we got Rock Title here twice. We got Lisa. We got John. Maria's going to pop in a little bit. Wendy's not here today. So try not to beat me up too much, because she's usually here to help me, you know, to have my back. She's not here to have my back today. So before we get into our good old friend, Mr. Morgan, any burning questions from anybody that you think you got to get out right now? Good. Shh, too late. Can't. Before John, come on up. Maria, pick a number from 1 to whatever. Let's do this now before I forget, because sometimes we forget. All right, gang. That's what's in here. This is just unbelievable. T-shirt. Not one, but 2 mouse pads. Not one, but 2 pens. Realty One Group pin. See, little pin. A little tiny notepad for people that, okay. And what else we got? And I don't know what Rock Title, I don't know why you guys are just really, and I mean this in sincerity, you guys are really generous with all of this stuff that you give us. On second thought, this is crap, this stuff, you know? No. But you get I really do, Tim, I really do. But it's really, really good stuff, gang. So please, when you write up an RPA, regardless what it says in agent-to-agent remarks, put Rock Title on the offer, and put your favorite escrow officer, who is not Heather or Tim. They're not escrow officers, okay?
Put your 30% discount on both sides, that helps.
Yes.
30% for buyer and seller and escrow fees.
Correct.
Right.
So now if they negotiate it out, so be it, okay? And the same thing is when you have a listing, and since Lisa's here, she's going to put seller's coverage on your listing. You want to put that in agent remarks also. That's going to enhance the deal a little bit for the other side too. So really important stuff. So, all righty, gang. John was, all right, pick a number. Maria, did you pick a number? 9. You have the list, don't you? I don't have the list. Who has the list?
Oh my gosh. Can I change that?
Not again.
Can I change that number?
Ay.
It must be mine.
It must be Carrie Meyer.
I thought I forwarded it to someone.
It's unbelievable. It's up to you.
Is there a new agent in here that doesn't have anything? No?
Look at you.
Is that a new agent?
I'm so pretty new.
Lorraine has been here since the break of dawn, you know? There you go. Atta girl. What a girl, Carrie. Look at that. Okay, so last week, John touched upon this. I don't know if creative financing is the right word. I don't like that term. I'm sure you guys don't either. But he has these ideas. He did this presentation in Green Valley. Tuesday, it went over really big. He's going to talk to us now for about a half hour, and then we'll get into our normal stuff. But some really good stuff. It might be a little much to comprehend, even for me, you know, and I think I know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing. We'll do our best. But try to take some notes and get with John, if not today, tomorrow, one-on-one for 10 minutes. Or he might do another class on this, just this, you know, sometime next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, John Morgan, there he is, one and only. Yeah, so move your... Do I have to do everything, John? I mean, dude, you're killing me here, man, you know? Don't go breaking stuff.
That's what I do.
All right, so this is you, right? Okay.
Yep, okay.
Wait, let's do it right.
So now the dust is settled and you guys have kicked the forms into the dirt and ground and beat them up. How many of you guys think that this NAR settlement is good for the industry?
Anybody?
Nobody.
Nobody?
Okay, we got some work to do. All right. So let's start with this. What's the difference between value and worth? They sound the same. People use them the same way a lot of times, but there's a huge difference, right?
Value is perceived, worth is what the cost of something is.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Worth is something tangible.
Yeah.
Worth is something you pay for, a thing, right? Here's some definitions for you. Worth typically has a connection to a monetary and humanly assigned measurement or cost of a thing. Okay? Worth largely has to do with function, capacity, or usefulness of a thing in day to day. So this is tangible worth. When someone says, oh, that's not worth it, or this task is worth this much. Value, something that is about connection or relationship. Often value has nothing to do with what another person would pay for it. Value has little to do with what it tangibly gives back to us, rather what it intangibly provides. All right? What's a good use of the word worth? How about
Money would help you.
yeah, what about self-worth? We've got to have a good understanding of our self-worth, right? That's a good use for the word worth. Value, we got the keyword relationship. Now, when you guys are building your business, do you want to spend your time in the worth side or the value side? Right, okay?
I didn't think they'd get that answer, John. That was a good one.
So,
Value or worth, they got that one. I like that. They're very good, guys.
so let's look at where the puck is headed, all right? You guys didn't, well, here's the thing. This industry is the only one that I can think of where lenders and realtors both have Facebook groups set up to bash each other and our clients, right? It's toxic. And I even got tired of bashing the bashers at this point. It's like, I just refrain. It's like, you guys, the negative mindsets are just killing me. I just avoid all of it. But it happens. And the media doesn't help. Okay? Here's the reality. Here's a poll. 42% of recent reported buyers reported that their agent was less helpful than expected. Do you believe that? Do you believe that's the perception? Yeah. That's what we're dealing with. We're getting past a perception, not reality. Okay? You guys in here are making a difference because you show up and you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to do better. All right? But the perception is what? Reality. It's reality. 54% said the agent cared more about making a deal than their best interest. Do you believe that perception's out there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I saw something on Lab. You guys belong to Lab Code Agents in here on Facebook?
Yeah.
That's a good group.
I do.
I like that one. They monitor that one pretty good. Well, I saw a post by Tristan yesterday. It says, we need to care more about our clients than the commission. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Where's all my people that when asked the questions, why did you get into real estate, said, I like helping people. I'm sure you all said that before, at least once, right? We need to bring that back out. Because the more value you provide and leave with, it's a lagging measure. The money's gonna come, the commission's gonna come, the clients are gonna come, all right? But you have to leave with an enormous amount of value. Don't be the guy that's sitting there taking notes and calculating your value and how many tasks and what you did, because that's rough and you're not gonna get anywhere. You'll be out of business. 61% of sellers support a commission structure in which the buyers are responsible for paying their own agent. So that's only 61%. And this is brand new. Okay? You think a lot of people, just because of the nuance of it, is like, heck yeah. And they don't really know the reality.
Until they can't sell their house.
Exactly. Depends on who they're listening to and what headlines they're looking at, right? New York Times, realtors resist changes in commission. Is that a good headline for us?
No.
No, you didn't make it. Most people didn't even read the article, they saw the headline. And that was enough for them. National Association of Realtors to cut commissions to settle lawsuits. All right, you didn't create that. And that's further from the truth, can be further from the truth. But the public is getting this stuff and they're creating this perception that you guys have to get past. All right? Here's one, 2024, end of buyer agent commission. Is that the worst? The most uninformed person writing this type of stuff. Again, you didn't do this. Not to date anybody, but who's used something like this in the past?
Come on, raise your hand. Come on. There you go. Yeah, okay. All right.
How many times did you have to get an updated one?
Every week.
It was every week? Okay. When one sold, did it magically disappear from your catalog?
Hey, just out of curiosity, this was BT before Tim, if you get my drift here. How many offices, Janet, how many of these came to Realty One? 1, 50, 100?
Actually, I wasn't at Realty One.
Wherever, well, back in the day.
But I was with Century 21.
Did a bunch come? Or,
I don't think Realty One ever got that.
but when this was the way to do it, how many came to the brokerage?
Only a couple.
That's what I'm saying, right? Only a handful?
Yeah, there was
Wow.
one for the group, it was up on the front desk.
Holy
We'd
moly.
all fish through it, it was
Yeah,
crazy.
so you didn't even have
Wow.
your own that you cross out and all this stuff. Oh my God, wrap your head around this, okay? You gotta go through, let's say it's Thursday. We're getting ready for the weekend and we got a non-updated book in our hands or on the front desk that everybody's thumbed through all week. We have to call every one of these to make sure it's still available.
And then you had to drive to their office to get the keys to go over it.
Yes, wrap your head around the work involved, okay?
Crazy.
How were your relationships with your clients back then when you did it this way?
Close.
Amazing.
Were you worried about
Huh?
losing them because they saw something?
No.
No.
Absolutely no.
Absolutely
Only
not.
a sign call, that would be the only way you would lose your client.
Yeah.
Is if
And the
they saw a
prices were
sign.
way cheaper.
The game was different.
Yeah.
The game was different. Now, you get a website registration or someone DMs you from a cool post you did or reaches out through YouTube. You talk to them. What do you do next?
Steal them from the other agent.
I expected that. You set them up on a search just like the other 6 people they talked to that week, right? Okay, then they go on Zillow and send you properties. All right?
Oh, that's you.
They send you properties, you show up and you show them, oh my gosh, I love this, let's write a contract on it. Who does your buyer think did all the work?
They would buy it.
Yeah, again, something you guys didn't do. You didn't create this. The need for fast, right now information did this. And we're not getting rid of it, okay? But we can revisit how we do the relationship, how we secure the business going forward. Because a lot of agents are like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, I don't have time for all this stuff, I got something. How? These guys were doing it, okay? So, who believes that the licensees are gonna be, reduced by at least 30 to 40%? Nationwide,
I think,
I do.
yeah, maybe even more,
yeah.
okay? So we got less licensees. Do you think the amount of deals are gonna go down? No. Okay, so there's more business. So is this a good thing or a bad thing for the industry?
Good.
Good thing.
Good thing, okay? Inspect what you expect. Who's heard of that? Okay? Inspect what you expect means basically take your realtor hat off and step into your client's shoes and do an analysis of what you have to offer. Would you fire yourself? Would you pay yourself 3%? What are you providing yourself? You know, you are your boss. Like, you're working for yourself. And a lot of people like, I can't believe they didn't want to pay my commission. Okay. You're in the worth, number one. You're sitting in the worth because you're detailing all the things you did for them and how much it's worth. All right, the people who are entrenched in value aren't having these conversations. Okay? It's a buyer reaches out, hey, I heard of this thing. It's like, do I pay my own compensation? You get to have a great conversation because they called and asked you. That's a value situation. You got a relationship. So inspect what you expect. And this happens a lot, you know, in marketing even. We assume that a lot of these buyers know things, but they don't. So do that. Like, do a forensic analysis of your business from a buyer's or seller's standpoint. So what this leads to is we need to get deeper. All right, it needs to be custom. Not only do you need a listing presentation, solid listing presentation, you need a solid buyer presentation, consultation, but you need an outline. Okay, how many people use the same listing presentation every time you go out? Are all houses the same?
No.
Neighborhoods, clients, needs? No.
Most of the year.
You're playing roulette, right? You're throwing a presentation and hoping they fit it.
Oh, no.
How many people would rather go on 3 listing appointments and get 3 listings? Instead of 7 listing appointments and getting 3 listings. Those are the busy people, okay? So if we customize this to the buyer's needs, it's a whole different game. And you have to make that first call, which is a dreams and goals call. Not only are you getting their dreams and goals, but you're getting their anxiety. You're finding out what they are afraid of. They want to move from California to Texas, bought a home in 2006 and concerned about buying into a real estate bubble. Is that something you need to address in your consultation? Yeah. Bought a home in 2018, had a terrible time with the loan and home buying process. Usually they go hand in hand. You got a problem with the home buying process, you're gonna have a problem with the loan. When you have a problem with the loan, you got to, right? It's hand in hand. So they had a problem with their process in 2018. That needs to be addressed in your consultation. And they are aware the real estate commission may now fall on the buyer and not necessarily paid by the seller. So there's your outline for your consultation. Those are the things that you need to address. They're moving from California to Texas, so you need to bring up some things in your consultation that they need to know. Taxes, stuff like that. And then talk about the current economy, the recession, and all that. But this should be done with your lender too. All right? Your lender and agent should be on a united front, working as a team for them, because there are things you shouldn't be talking to them about. I mean, you can, nothing against it, but you're not gonna move the needle as much as the lender would in that topic, right? They wanna hear from the lender when it comes to market and economy, economic statistics and stuff like that. They wanna hear from you how you're gonna take care of them, how you're gonna get them into a house, how you're gonna negotiate. They wanna hear from the lender on the statistical information of where the market's going. So, again, we'll burn through these because these are, just get the idea in your head. You need that outline and it needs to be custom and it should be done together. If you can do it in person, great. You do it in Zoom, great. Face to face, okay? Because who would rather work with less clients and close more deals? Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have time for life. It's a quality of life thing. So here's the first thing. Everybody should have this question burned into their mind. If you're not asking this question, what do you believe will happen to home prices if rates move to 5%?
Higher, that would go up.
Yeah. All right. What's the difference you telling them this is gonna happen than you asking what they think is gonna happen? Right? They're gonna set the stage. They get to do it. And they're like, well, obviously the homes are moving higher. Good. I'm glad you believe that. I do too. And then you get into, because they're talking about buying into a bubble, they don't want to buy into a bubble, you got to talk about inflation, you got to talk about a recession, and you got to show them, again, where the puck is heading. You know, talking about how there's a 100% chance in a recession that the rates are going to go down and the prices are going to go up. And you have these charts. This is where the lender comes in and gets to explain this type of stuff to them to make them understand. Because guess what's going to happen? You guys are going to have this great consultation. You're not going to hear from them a day or two. All of a sudden the Fed announces something and the news says, rates just hit 5.8%. They're freaking out. Like, oh my gosh. Patrick, we need to write an offer. Everybody's coming in. Because that's in their head now. You help that. But every one of these recessions, it shows how the rates would drop. Okay? And then here we get to show how the housing prices went up each recession. Charts. Even if they're not high C's in analytics, these chart pictures help. 75% fewer homes on the market today than when the market crashed. All right, that's an inventory thing. So now they know not only the price is going to move up because of the recession, but the prices are going to move up because of the inventory. Real estate report card, this can be customized to any city, zip code, or anything. This is important to have in the presentation. Lender can go over this, talking about renters who can afford to purchase. This one was for Henderson, but 269,000 renters can afford to purchase. That's quite a bit of people. Shows the affordability going back up, heading in the right direction, mainly because the rates are coming down. Again, more to support the pricing. And then when you come in and you address the problem with the last experience with the home buying process and loan, you get to talk to them about the preparing and planning stage. Value, value, value. All right? Who's having conversations with your clients about generational wealth? Good. Right? Buying a house shouldn't be just about getting the family into a home or buying your first home. Buying a house should be 60% about generational wealth, because we're not stopping here. How many people know that I can buy a house today and a year later when I get tired of it, or I want a dog in a yard, I can go buy another primary residential home and keep this one with the nice rate that I got because it was a primary residence. Right? A year later, I got 2 dogs and need a bigger yard. I can go buy another primary residential home with another great rate and keep that one too. There's no law against that. That's building generational wealth. Taking advantage of a system that they created for you to do. So again, this is this type of slide that you put in for the whole process to make them feel comfortable with where they're going. And then you explain the whole 6, 7 steps, whatnot. But let's get into the meat of it. You guys want to know what lending can do to help with the costs of having to pay the buyer commission, right?
Correct.
Here, if we just do a seller paid compensation, that's pretty straightforward. Add compensation to the price. We addressed this last week with the appraiser here. They know it's coming. They can see it a mile away, or hundreds of miles away. All right? Was it you who talked about the person that priced the home aggressively to get offers above one? Is that bass backwards or what? Right now.
Yeah.
There was a time for it, right? There was a time for that when you create buzz and get a higher price and have it be worth it. But right now, if the appraiser's on alert, watching for you to raise your price to tuck in concessions, that's what they're going to think you did.
Right.
All right? So if it'll appraise, and again, he talked about they don't want them to come in low. All right? So if there's any way it can appraise for $515, they're going to appraise it at $515.
But John, question. So we write an offer, if it's lower than what they're asking, but we need those concessions. It makes it better if we come in higher. Remember, I was just talking about this?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
You
but
can.
then they don't want to give you concessions if it's lower, so therefore their payment's higher. So how do you get that going when you're the buyer representation?
So.
Like, cause they need those concessions, seller doesn't understand, so you don't, we had to come in high to get them to go under contract.
Yeah,
But now
and
if
you
it appraises
can't-
low, what's gonna happen to my transaction?
There's language in contracts I'm already seeing
Okay,
where if, they write it in, if the home does not appraise, seller concessions are avoided. They're writing this into the contract, on the addendum,
why
yep.
should
They'll
a,
get a
That'll
counter
come
from the
over
seller.
in the counter.
Yep, counter from the seller saying, if home does not appraise, seller is voiding concessions.
well, we're already under contract.
Okay.
Are you saying after the appraisal?
Oh, it's just a negotiation. If you're under contract and then the appraisal comes in low,
Oh, I see,
you guys gotta
okay.
figure that out.
Then I'm gonna be calling and say, hey, what was that?
That's when I jump in and say, well, this is what we can do. That's on the
Okay.
next slide.
I see, okay.
So, yes, we can raise the price. Let's see, loan amount, we can adjust the loan amount, we can keep the price the same. But let's say if they're doing 20% down, we can adjust it to a 15% down and, you know, roll some more of the closing costs. Because if they only have $20,000 to come to the table with and they're short, then we just lower the down payment, so they're still coming in with $20,000, but it's covering closing costs. Okay? And then, again, then there's the buyer pay compensation. That probably isn't gonna happen a lot, right? They're not gonna, maybe 20–30% of the time where the buyer's just gonna have to do it. Otherwise, there's gonna be some sort of concession somewhere, whether it's lending or from the seller. So let me show you why this would be the best option here. We talked about this, because Brittany's not here, is she? All right. So Brittany's deal is no longer available. Last week, we had much better pricing on the board, but nobody took us up on it.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
It might have been off a little bit, right?
It
You
was
know,
off a little
bit,
I mean,
you know.
shoot, we had what, $500,000 loan with $1,200 a month?
Yeah.
Nobody jumped on that at all. All right, so these are the updated numbers. Let's say you're coming in at 6.125. Let's just say that's the Realty One Group epic rate. They're not paying any points. Anybody know what a point is? 1% of loan amount, right, not purchase price, the loan amount. So they're not paying any points. Their payment's gonna be $24.30 a month, all right? I can adjust their rate to 6.5%. Their payment's gonna go up $100 a month, but they're gonna get $5,000 lender credit. That can be used towards concessions. Any closing costs, right? At 2 points, yes, they're going back up to 7.125. Their payment's only going up $175 a month, but they're getting $10,000.
Is the seller, the buyer paying the points though?
No, they're getting points.
Oh, they're getting.
They're receiving. They're receiving this instead of paying. Like if our rates were at 7.125 and they wanted a 6.125 and they paid for 2 points, they could get there, right? But they're receiving. We're creating money.
But can't you go in midway and change it to FHA if necessary? If you, right?
Meaning,
Change the product throughout the transaction?
yeah, you can. You can always do that. Everybody's got to agree because it could
Okay.
cause timeline issues.
But you typically don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It delays things, it makes things go sideways. Pick the loan in the
You're
beginning,
gonna
you
be, I'm
know?
gonna be on the phone. Oh yeah, we can do that. Okay, yep, on time. Okay. Yes, we can do it.
Is this with 10 or 20% down?
This is just standard. We're not talking down payments or anything like that. This is just the actual loan. So 3 points, probably not gonna happen because then we start getting into high price, high cost loan triggers and alarms and it doesn't go. 2.5 we can usually get away with. So if we get a whole 2.5 point credit, change the rate to 7.5, their payment's $270 more, but they get $12,500. They need to make 4 payments before we can refinance them. All right, 6 months. It's 6 months.
And when you refi them, John, how much does it cost the borrower?
So what it costs the borrower, so with our rate rebound program, we're paying the lending costs. So origination fees, appraisals, credit, all that stuff we're covering, and then we're throwing another $1,000 towards their third party, which would be title and escrow, okay? So that cuts a lot of the cost to refi.
Can you repeat that?
So the rate rebound is, we'll cover for the next 5 years, every 6 months, if it drops by 0.5%, so as many times as you want, we cover all the lending fees, plus $1,000 towards third-party fees. So you're only really gonna be out prepaid interest for the new loan, all right? That'll be an impound. And then you may have to refill the escrow account for the new loan, but you get a check back a few weeks later from your other escrow account that shut down, and they sent you the funds that were in there. So it's a wash, okay? So, go ahead.
Okay, if for example something happened and seller or owner needs to sell the property in 6 months, it will be some problem with the lender?
It can be, but sometimes there's situations that we can't foresee and it happens.
Yeah, but,
They do what they have to do.
because I heard.
It's not illegal,
Yeah,
but
because they need to leave some as medium,
Yeah.
some,
it happens, yeah, so.
no problem, yeah?
But in order to get a new appraisal, to realize the new equity, you have to wait 6 months. So,
Okay.
Did you say 1% or 0.5%?
on what?
That you can change every 1%, every 6 months?
Oh, if the rate drops by 0.5%.
Half.
Yeah, so if we go from 6.5 to 6, you're eligible to get the rate rebound, if it's been 6 months. All right, so think about that, that's 4 payments in the 6 months. If you're paying, let's use a $10,000 one because it's easy. If you're paying $200 a month more than what you're going to, how much is that? 4 payments.
$800.
$800.
$800.
And you got $10,000. Is that too good to be true? It's true though. The only people that get hurt are the servicers, people servicing the loan that paid for this loan to service. But the reason you're paying these stupid rates is because the servicers have built it in the front end because they know you're gonna refi. That's why we know rates are going down.
Hey, John, so when you're under contract for, say, 6.5%, and then 2 weeks go by and all of a sudden the Fed just dropped the rate a whole point, and you can't honor that, right?
Oh yeah, because if you're working with me, I don't lock until 10 days before close.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, okay, that's
If,
good.
here's another trick in pricing, all right? If you lock at 30 days, you get your par. The longer out you lock, the higher price you're gonna pay for your interest rate, okay? But if I do it in 21 days, I'm saving an eighth for you. If I do it 10 days from close, I'm saving you a full quarter, all right? So as long as this market's going in the right direction, we're gonna wait to lock. We're gonna flow all the way to the end,
Good.
so.
And that's why, again, it's critical that your buyer has a conversation with John, not you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to preface it, you're going to be involved with it, but they're not going to believe you. They're just not. You know, they're going to believe John, you know?
Needs to come from me,
Yeah.
okay? This needs to come from me.
And this is for only owner occupied, yeah?
Any loan.
Any?
Yeah, any loan,
Investment?
we can move the rate on any loan, any product, okay? So, that's why we need to do it together so I can explain this type of stuff, especially if it gets in the weeds and they're really freaked out about having to pay this commission, which I think is a place we're at right now.
Pretty much.
We're in kind of a situation where applications are still coming in, pre-approvals are still going out, the rates are coming down, inventory is going up. We got scared buyers trying to figure this out. So what's it gonna take? A phone call. If you have someone with a pre-approval that you haven't heard from in a week or two, reach out. Ask them, hey, how's it going? You know, been getting my list? Oh, yeah. Like, where you guys at? Well, you guys are watching the meeting, where's your mindset at? They're gonna tell you what's wrong. They're gonna initiate that conversation and you get to educate. And say, hey, you know what, let's jump on a Zoom with my lender. Let him, right from his mouth, explain what's going on as far as market. He's got some interesting techniques that can help you avoid, you know, coming out of pocket up front for that compensation, if that's the issue, all right? Not social media. This is not something that you're gonna be able to navigate on social media. You have to go to the value box, call, meet, get in front of them. That's the only way this conversation goes better. you guys have questions on how we're moving the rate and freeing up money?
They have a million questions. They're just afraid to raise their hands.
Reach out to me. Joanne, if you get on the phone today and you got a client that wants to get on a Zoom with me and you, let's do it.
You know I'm calling.
Just call me and we'll jump on a Zoom. No problem. But you got to do the work. You got to find out where their hang-ups are so that we can create a customized plan going into it so we can address it and get it done. So a lot of deals are happening or need to happen because inventory is going up. I mean, this is a perfect time to go out and sell homes. All right, rates coming down, inventory going up. Let's go.
It's
Make
similar
calls.
to like a down payment assistance program, isn't it?
Not really, because you don't have to pay it back, right? We are going to be, let's say, where are we? October, I would say we'll be entrenched in the 5s with conventional. So if we were to close today on a 7.125, 6 months from now, we are probably going to be in the mid to low 5s. That's gonna be a huge difference in payment, and they got to take their 10 grand. All right? So reach out to me. Let me know if you need me to talk to your buyers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just saying.
Here.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying, you know. Oh, and he signed off on it. There we go. Hey, whoa.
What's gonna happen? So reach out if you have any questions.
Good job.
Tim, go for it.
I like it. Everybody, John Morgan, everybody. He's got to run to the Southwest office now, okay? But you can see, and again, we have our vendors come up. Lisa's going to talk in a second. We have our other vendors come up. We don't just have them come up here because, we want to give them business. Well, we do, of course, want to give them business. But at the same time, learning from them what to say is really, really important. I mean, if you don't know how to explain on a listing appointment how your seller should have free seller's coverage, and they say no to you, then you messed up. Then you need help in a good way, and that's where Lisa will come in. If you don't know how to, in 90 seconds or less, hey Raymond, I'm going to put seller's coverage on your house. It's free of charge. Let me tell you what it's all about. And Raymond says no, then I really messed up. Then I'm talking another language or something here. Okay. So if you don't, and the same thing with John. If you go to your buyer, say, you know what, Ann, I know you're talking about 6%, but I think if you get 6.5%, this is going to happen. Ann's going to look at me like, what the fuck, 6.5%, But if it comes from John, the lender, it might make more sense. Okay, does that kind of add up a little bit, everybody? Okay. All right, gang. All right, who do we have next here? Now, again, we have another great breakfast here as always. And there she is. You know where you love her. Our newest vendor here, Lisa Waldick from Achosa Home Warranty. Very nice, Lisa. Come on in, Lisa. See, I know how to pronounce it.
That was good.
I know how to
That was really
pronounce
good.
it,
Thank
yes,
you.
you know.
Hi guys, good morning. Lisa Waldeck with Achosa Home Warranty. As Tim was talking about, we do offer that free listing coverage on your listings. We're seeing days on market last a little bit longer. Listing coverage is really imperative. I mean, things happen during that listing and escrow period, things happen during that home inspection, things happen during the walkthrough. I had an agent send me a video. They were outside and the compressor was just like vibrating, making all kinds of noise. I'm like, file a claim under the policy. We have that under the policy. Have somebody come out and take a look at it. That's your buyer you're protecting to make sure that thing's not going to blow tomorrow whenever you go to hand them keys. So it's really important. What we cover on that listing coverage is up to $1,000 of coverage during that listing and escrow period. We cover it under our core policy. We include the HVAC, we include all of the appliances, including refrigerator, washer, dryer, and roof leaks. We know it rains here. We know roof leaks happen. They're gonna happen at the most inopportune time. So we wanna make sure you guys have that covered. The best way that you can explain it to your client is going through your listing presentation. We have a flyer that you can insert into that presentation. You can also take these and put the information in your listing and buyer packets. It's got my email on there. It's got my phone number. Refer them to me if they have any additional questions. But just let them know, say, when you're doing your net sheet, you're sticking a line item in there for the HOA demand, the HOA resale package. You're putting in closing costs. Stick a line item in there for home warranty and just let them know more than likely they're going to receive an offer from a buyer asking for them to pay for a 1-year home warranty at the close of escrow. And by the way, by listing with me, I'm going to include a warranty on your property at no cost to you during the listing and escrow period, so you're protected should something happen. Again, like Tim said, if they're like, absolutely not, I don't want it, they look at the information, here's the best thing you can do. we have a waiver. Have them sign the waiver, because, I mean, if they say absolutely not, I don't want that, protect yourself, because if something does happen, and they come back to you and say, but we talked about the home warranty, and you're gonna go, we did talk about it, and you decided you didn't want that covered during the listing and escrow period, it's CYA, I mean, cover yourself right there. It's really good. Same with on the buyer presentation too. You know, when you're sending those contracts to the buyers to sign, you're sending it electronically. They're hitting that next button, next button, next button. They don't know what they've waived. They don't know what they've agreed to. If during the conversation, when you're coming to terms before you send that electronically, and they say, I don't want a warranty, I would still send this to them and have them waive it again. It's only just one more document. They're gonna look at it, see that they're waiving something, and they're gonna think twice about it, because again, when something does fail after the close of escrow, they're talking to their neighbor, they're talking to a family member, and they're saying, well, why didn't you have a home warranty on that property? They're gonna come back to you and say, hey, well, how come I didn't have a home warranty? Again, you can go back to the file. Not only did they waive it in the purchase agreement, but they also took the time to waive it whenever you sent them the waiver on the home warranty as well. So it's just there to protect you guys. It's, you know, it's loss mitigation for you. It's putting you in a good place as far as that goes. Remember, the things that set us apart from the traditional home warranty company, number one, is we do cover that AC, we cover the roof leaks and all of the kitchen appliances on all of our policies, and we don't charge extra for it. Even on that listing coverage, so there's no surprise fee at the close of escrow that seller has to pay something additional, buyer has to pay anything additional. It's all included in that. The other thing, the big thing is, and the reason I came back into home warranty after 8 years, is the fact that we allow the homeowner to choose their own contractors when they need to file a claim. We know how important it is. We know clients want control. They don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to be forced to use subpar contractors. They don't want people upselling them when they're at the property trying to make that repair. So if they have somebody they know, an AC person, a plumber, an electrician, an appliance person that they know and trust that they've had in their home before, they can use any contractor they want. We pay their contractor their retail rate. We don't nickel and dime them, and we actually will pay them the same day before they even leave the house as soon as they make that repair. So the contractors want to go out to the property, they want to make the repair the right way the first time, and we want to get the homeowner back up and running again. So the one thing is, again, when you're explaining coverage to your clients, you know, the biggest thing is home warranty was never designed to cover 100% of everything. It's there to provide coverage, offset that budget protection. Now there's gonna be times when we do cover everything except for that $100 deductible for that homeowner. But there's gonna be times where maybe it costs $3,000 for the repair and we cover $2,500 of it. I mean, it's still a pretty good return on the money, and it's still getting that repair taken care of. Yes?
What is the cost of the warranty?
We have 4 different plans ranging from $425 up to $1,100, and each one covers a different amount each year on each system and appliance. We have different add-ons as well, so we're seeing a lot of garages now having the split AC systems. We can add those as well to the policy, water softener, pool, additional refrigerator, whether it's a beverage refrigerator like in a bar or in a bedroom, or you know, extra refrigerator or freezer out in a garage, those things like that. If you ever have any questions, you're writing an offer, it's as easy as shooting me an email or text and saying, I'm writing an offer, how much should I ask for home warranty? I have MLS access, so I can actually go in, look at the property, and quote it out for each individual property. So it just makes it easier when you're trying to write that offer and have a warranty in there. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be here afterwards, but just know you guys can reach me anytime. Again, all my contact information's on here. I do respond to texts and phone calls and emails, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Lisa, baby, thank you, thank you. Hey, and in case you guys don't know this, which I hopefully you guys do, you text Lisa, she's at LVR in a meeting, she doesn't get back to you. Where else can you find the price of the home warranty? Where are they physically in the office?
Right.
Yes, they're right out that door. So grab one, take a picture of the page that has the prices on it, because that's what you're going to reference when you write up the offer, okay, instead of just kind of winging it. All right, again, we don't have one, but we have 2 rock title people here today, Heather Mears and Assistant Vice President Tim Sams. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Yeah, so we are very lucky to have Tim with us today, so I'm going to let him talk mostly. One thing that we are doing, we have, Realty One has a full packed calendar, so Rock Title has so many classes coming up in September, so we're going to have our own calendar, which will be, well, it's actually in your little packet there, so you have that. Tim's going to have classes, that's what his job is, he's the master trainer for you guys. I can help with all your marketing stuff, so still reach out to me if you guys need forms, any of that stuff. We have a couple classes in Summerlin coming up. I'm gonna be doing the Wednesday workshops. I have 3 of them. On the 11th, it's gonna be about list reports. So if you guys are not set up on list reports, or you're set up, you don't really know how to use it, I'd love for you to come to that class. Then we have one on website setup. It's not gonna be full, like, down and dirty, every single thing you need to know, but some of the basics. If you guys wanna change your pictures, we can help you with that. And then another one, it's gonna be a little different. I'm gonna do an audible, for the book, Who Moved My Cheese. Has anyone read that book? Yeah. It's a great book. So it's 45 minutes, come and listen, and we'll probably turn the lights off, and I'm either gonna do maybe cheese and wine, or maybe popcorn and candy. So we'll make it fun and just kind of listen and, just.
So we're dimming the lights?
We will dim the lights.
Okay.
Bring your pajamas on. And I'm gonna let Tim talk on everything.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I love working with you.
Ditto.
Hey,
So many kind words.
just out of curiosity, gang, this is in a handout. This is the Summerlin classes on Zoom, as well as other offices, and those are the Summerlin Live. Are you suggesting, like, we need a lot of help here, Tim? Is that why we have so many here, or, you know, you're killing me here, you know? But this is good. There's a lot of classes he's given us. Yes.
I've been asked
Yes.
to do a lot of classes. So September, we're gonna give you everything that you guys have asked for.
Yes.
And then we can always reduce.
Correct. I think the gal that's not here today had a lot to do with that. Wendy, if you know what I'm saying, which is a good thing.
Like text messages from Tim.
Yes, you know.
Get calls from Tim. Wendy was like beating down my door, like, come in. There's like a couple of agents that are missing. Like, there's got to be more than 2, maybe 3, maybe Patrick, Carrie, maybe Carrie. I don't know. Anyway, so happy to be here. I'm going to be brief today, which is, I took advantage of writing some numbers on the wall here because somebody else already did. But 9
Sorry.
is 9-5. That's the very first class that I'm teaching about social media. So I need a little bit of interaction here. Raise the hands. Who's a little bit frustrated with social media? Okay, drop them. Who was like, it's Friday, or it's Friday, and they're like, I can't get my social media game going. So on Monday, I'm gonna do a post. You get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're ready to go, you're searching for content, and then it's like 3 o'clock. And you're like, you gotta have to, who's there? Who's done that? Who's experienced that? Who's at the level where they're like, I'm done with social media.
Hey, oh, hey.
Who is at that level right now? Did I just throw my phone?
Yeah, smooth, Tim, smooth.
All right, so on 9-5, come hang out with me at 11 o'clock. You don't have to leave, you'll be right here. 11 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna talk about 4 processes. 4. I'm gonna try and say it in Spanish, but
Through your phone, killing me. I can't get over that. Yeah,
thanks, Tim, I appreciate that.
I'll leave it right here.
I actually asked to use my wife's phone this morning. That's why I'm here. Anyway, 4 processes that you can put in place to elevate your social media game and lower your frustration. Okay? And I forgot what this 4 was. I think this is the 4 times in September I'm going to come hang out with you.
Unbelievable, unbelievable.
And then Heather's like 3 or 4. So we appreciate you. Have an amazing day. Thank you, Tim. Thanks, Heather.
Tim Sands, everybody. Woohoo! Woohoo! All righty, gang. Let's get to the.
Sorry, buddy.
Some other, no, you did. Your thing's over there. There you go. Yeah. You have Apple Care on that, or whatever it's called. You know. All right, we did Lisa already. All right, gang. A couple of things. Right after this meeting is taco time. Suze said I can make tacos better than the taco lady. So she was nice enough. She spent a lot of time last night cooking everything up. So indulge in a taco. I don't know. Just don't have 7 tacos when you first go up to it. Okay. I mean, let's make sure there's enough for everybody. Okay. So we're going to do that today. Christmas parties at Stoney's. We're planning way ahead. It's not until December, but I want everyone to know it's going to be a little bit different. We'll talk more about this as we get closer to December. I want to tell you guys the numbers real quick. I did this yesterday, and 4971 was the amount of homes that were in ER status. As of this morning, shit, it was 4999. I thought it would be 5,000. But that's what's right now in ER status. Compared to last year, that's single family. It was 3,800. So like Tim was saying, Lisa was saying, John was saying, inventory is going up, okay? And even total last year was 4,900, now we're over 7,000, okay? Which is not normal. Normally inventory doesn't go up and prices go up. It doesn't work that way, typically, okay? But I think John hit it on the head. A lot of buyers are just nervous. They don't want to sign this form you're slapping in front of them, right? You know, so they're a little nervous here, you know? So we need to take advantage of this while we can.
So sales have slowed down.
Correct. They haven't fallen through the floor, but they're slower than we want it to be. And typically it's the summer. Not that that's an excuse, but it's a little bit slower in August too, okay? But again, you utilize these. Make a little video on it, like John was saying. This is the stuff that people want to know. They really want to know this stuff. And these are the numbers from last August that are at the bottom of this. That's a little quick synopsis, but if you really want to get into them, this is on LVR, under LVR data. Hopefully you all know where that is. You've been in Matrix, you've played with this stuff, all of this is in there, okay? I'm just kind of reminding you of it. I'm gonna do another class tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Not that we've done too many of these forms classes, but we're gonna keep doing them. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, we'll hop on Zoom. If you scan the QR code, I think that gets you right in the class, right? So that'll get you right into the class.
These new forms training, you keep changing them, so.
That's why we're doing all these classes, Carrie. You know, a lot of new forms. You know, they're changing all the time, okay? But I think what we're going to talk about tomorrow is the BBRA again, and Maria's going to touch upon the clauses. If you don't know what the clauses are, we're going to talk about how you can add them to your template in Matrix, okay? This is one of the forms that should be up front. I would bring this to every buyer, every seller. I would give this to them as part of my buyer consultation or listing appointment. It comes from NAR. It's meant to give to the consumer, okay? Really important, okay? That you have this. Make a bunch of copies. It should be part of your normal consultation along with the Realty One market share graph that shows the production that we've done, which is this one right here, okay? So this one should be in your packet all the time also, okay? Don't forget the, believe it or not, Suze, we're over 200 subscribers to the YouTube channel. Who knew? Okay, I think we had like 7 a month ago, you know? So you guys are subscribing, which is kind of cool. So please subscribe. All this stuff is on there. It's easy for us just to upload it there so you can access it. Don't forget the websites from NAR, particularly fax.realtor. That has a lot of stuff on it. Upcoming things, if you didn't make the ABR class yesterday, some of you did. I see some of your faces in here. Jeff's going to do one next month in the Northwest through Key. So it's not a Realty One class, it's Key. So you have to go to that QR code. If you have trouble registering, don't call Mackenzie, don't call Suzanne. We can't help you. It's through Key. Okay, it's going to be free. 2 days in the Northwest. I think Tamara, who was here yesterday, is going to teach it up there. She's a really good instructor. Okay, so make sure you register for that. If you don't have your ABR, really important. These 6 good-looking people are going to be in the Green Valley office next week or the week after. 2 weeks from today. No, it's a Tuesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday the 10th. We do this every quarter at every office. So if you're in the mood to drive the Green Valley, all of us will be up in the front, and agents will be bombarding us with questions, throwing crap at us, you know, whatever they want to do, okay? So you guys like the broker panel, we like doing it, so that's going to be in the Green Valley office on September 10th. The Global Day is coming up through LVR with Smadar and Rena. Those of you that want to do some global stuff, international, you should go to this. It's $40.
It's booked.
Hmm?
It's booked.
It's booked. Oh, really? No kidding. Wow. Okay.
No more registration.
Really? If I really wanted to go, I would show up that day. Show up that. Worst that could happen is they'll send you away. Okay. But you know, what's the percentage of realtors that sign up for a class that typically show up? What do you think? Let's not get crazy. 10% here. Yeah, it's like half. It's like half. You know, it's like half. So, and it's on September 8th or 6th. 6th. Okay, and it's all day. All day. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Rev Up is now on Zoom for you new folks that are here. You ladies might be taking this soon. Okay. It's only on Zoom. It's not live anymore. Vote for Best of Las Vegas. We have a few. I know. Did you guys win it last year, or came in second? What did you guys do?
I think we were tied for second.
What is this? The silver or whatever it's called? Okay. Vote early, and you can vote often. unlike normal elections. So hit that button over and over again for rock title. And I know there's some other Realty One group. I think some of the teams are in there. I think there might be a couple of agents that threw their name in the hat, right? Brittany Barnett was in there last year. I think she's in there again this year, even though she didn't know she's in there this year. But that's a good thing. So it's a lot of fun. That's the calendar for September. It's out already. Good job, Wendy. Way to go, Wen. Okay, I know you're not here, but good job. Okay, this is Tim's calendar, and I think they're going to put this on the back of.
Our calendar.
Is that what we're doing? Right? I think that's the plan. Okay, so they're both going to be together. Some really good stuff here. That's Justin's classes. Is he continuing doing these, Tim, or are you doing them?
For the month of September, he's going to be doing.
He's going to do. Okay,
And I'm going to
again,
hang out with everybody.
perfect. If you're new as a mentee or experienced agent to the company, you need to jump on these too. We say it every week, but you need to hop on these classes. One is on the company. It's called One Orientation, and one is One Suite, which is our CRM. Okay, it's about an hour. Justin's a fabulous instructor. Hop on these. They're recorded, so you can always go back and watch them in the future. But these are two important classes if you're new to the company. Wendy does a mastermind group the first Tuesday of every month. We saw Heather already. All right, gang, have we got some stuff to tell you about here, right? So you know about the new, rental compensation and, what's it called? The rental BBRA. Let's go with that, okay? But it has a long name to it, okay? You all know about that form, right? Any questions about that form?
No more BBRA, no more duties owed or anything, not duties owed, but BBRA we were doing before for rentals, no more of that, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
correct. That's out the window, okay? But there's a few different,
Know when that'll be updated in the transaction desk and clickable,
for what?
the rental showing and compensation agreement?
Yeah, it's a lot of this stuff has to do with transaction desk. Marie's going to talk to you about something with the CDA that's out of our control. So we're on them, yelling at them, transaction desk, but it's the wheels move slow sometimes. Okay. So, all right, gang, ladies and gentlemen, your TC and my TC, Maria Oakes, everybody. Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo! What do we want to do? What do you want to do? Which one?
Okay, so, no.
This one?
Yeah, just don't touch it. Don't touch
Sorry. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Okay, so, new core list, and I know that you're gonna find that there's one document missing in there, but I'm gonna do that on purpose, because I'm OCD, so everything has to be in numbers, 5 and 5. You can click one time, there. So make sure on the buyer side, when you open your SkySlope, these are the core documents, also your duties owed, of course, but you must have your BBRA in there. If it's not in there when you open your SkySlope, you've got issues. Make sure that your BBRA is signed. I'm finding that they're sending them to me to have Tim sign them, but you all aren't signing them. I need you guys to sign them, because otherwise I need to send them back to you to get them signed, and then I can get them.
Who should sign the BBRA last?
You.
Not that hard, gang. Yeah. So make sure you have the other signatures before you send it to me or Maria.
Yeah. Okay, so like I said, these are the new ones. On the buyer side, make sure that BBRA is in there. And then on the listing side, it's pretty much the same, documents. Next thing on there is, yes, we do know, one click.
One click. Half a click? Which way am I going? Am I going the right way?
We do know that the CDA and transaction desk does not work. So, what happened? Transaction desk, we sent them the CDA, and you know how there's all the fillable spots on there. Well, transaction desk is the one that does those fillable spots. They are not touching any brokerage documents until
For a while.
AR has all of their documents in a row, and all of them are perfect. So it's not gonna be available probably until the end of the year. So you have to go into SkySlope, under working documents, and then get the CDA from there, and that is fillable because that's obviously our documents.
What's the CDA, I'm sorry?
That's how you get paid.
Oh, okay. What does it stand for?
Commission distribution
Oh, okay,
authorization
got it.
form.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah. You would have known if you did.
Okay, so.
It's a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So just wanna make sure that you guys know, don't call me and tell me that the transaction desk doesn't work. We know it doesn't work, so you have to use that one, okay? quickly we've got these clauses. So if you want to stay after the meeting, I'm gonna do probably a 15-20 minute training on how to take these clauses, put them into your clauses in transaction desk, and then move them automatically into your listing agreement. And it's all done in just basically one step.
Maria, we all need your cell number for the weekends.
And that's it. I mean, you know, if you wanna stay, that's great, and then we can take these things, and it's basically just copying and pasting it one time, and that's it. And then make sure that your transaction desk templates are already done, and you can do them into your templates also.
Is everybody pretty clear on these clauses?
Tim, on the first one, if you put the percentage, I just put NA on the flat fee, is that okay? Right there, the second one.
So you're putting the amount of
I put like 2.5%.
percent is a no.
You put a percentage in there?
I put a percentage and then I just put NA or 0 on the
Yeah.
flat fee.
That's fine.
Either, okay.
Right.
It says or.
Hmm?
It says or.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right. Because instead of 3 bananas, you might want to charge 20 grand.
Okay.
Or whatever the math turns out to be.
Okay.
Okay? Janet?
Transaction fee go to the flat fee?
No. No. This has nothing to do with the transaction fee. This is just your side of the listing compensation for you as the seller's agent. Yeah, Janet?
I just wanted to let you know, I'm a listing agent right now. I haven't even done a buyer broker agreement yet because I haven't had any buyers that just have listings, and that's okay. I'm happy about that. But I just got the commission instructions for one that just went into escrow. The buyer's agent had called me and she said, my buyer loves the house. She goes, is your seller offering compensation? And I said, and I was authorized by the seller to disclose, and I said, well, it depends on the offer, obviously, but if it's a good offer, he's willing to go up to 2.5%. So I didn't lock him into 2.5%. I said up to, if it was an acceptable offer to him. And so she said, okay. So she sent in the offer. She wrote in 2.5% on the offer. But I just saw the commission instructions. She's getting 4%. She is getting the rest from her buyer. Yes. And this girl had I called her up. I said, hey girl, I said, how'd you do this? She goes, that's what I'm worth. That's what I put. And I explained it to my buyer that, hey, you're getting off easy. You only have to pay 1.5%. You know? So at any rate, the lesson, the whole point of this is that don't be afraid to write a higher number and on your BBRA. But you can always go down, but you can't obviously go up. So.
Yeah, and it's funny. Those of us that have been doing this for a while, I remember when I was at Remax doing deals all the time, when I represented the buyer, in my mind, I shielded them from everything. Right? You know what I'm saying? They didn't know the minutia. They didn't know the crap I put up with the other agent or the appraisal or the home inspector was late. You know, I didn't tell them any of that stuff. That was I thought that was part of my value. You know, to keep Lorena away from all that. As long as it closes on time, you get the price you want, you're happy. Now, if I was an agent, I'm telling them everything.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving nothing out. Literally, okay? Because again, they might have to pay you, where in the past they didn't pay us anything other than the transaction fee. I knew what I was getting from the listing agent. Now I don't know what I'm getting from listing agent, okay? So you got to tell them everything. Don't hold back. Maria?
I have a question.
Of course you do. I know you do.
So I'm a buyer's agent and I just filled out my BBRA.
Uh-huh.
But because I know that the seller could possibly give up to 2.5% or 2%, I'm okay with that. So on my BBRA, I just put 0, right?
No.
Okay, how about the,
What do you think? What happens if you put 0? What if you put 0 on the BBRA? First of all, you better hope I catch it before I sign it, okay? But sometimes I can't read everything I'm signing. You know, there's hundreds a day. But I'm trying to read the BBRAs because we've caught 1 or 2 that had 0. And I called up the agent and said, dude, do you know what this means? Oh, no, Tim, it's my mother, and I don't want to charge her anything, but I'm getting 2.5 from the seller. No, you're getting 0 from the seller. But they thought because of what I just said, it was okay to put 0. You don't want to put 0. And we can't reverse it once everything is signed. You're SOL for that, okay? So it's really, really important that you understand that part, okay? What about if a buyer's agent calls you on a listing and they want to know the co-op. What are you guys going to say? Hey, Mike, this is Tim at Remax. I'm going to show you a house tomorrow. My clients really love it, you know. What co-op is your seller offering?
Make an offer.
Just
present
make
the
an
offer,
offer.
and we'll talk about it.
Oh, come on, Mike, I mean, they really like the house, you know. Give me an idea.
$40. It's gonna vary on how many people are looking at it. Throw in your best and we'll.
Okay, because the more experienced agents are going to do that. They're going to press your button. They're like, oh, come on, Sylvia, I've known you for years. Just give me an idea, but you got to stick to your guns, okay? Because you don't want to give up any numbers, okay? That's why I personally am not a big fan of number 1. I'm a big fan of number 2 that you put on the listing agreement, okay? Because that doesn't pigeonhole you to a number, where the top one could pigeonhole you to a number, okay? So it's up to you guys. Again, you guys are independent contractors. We can't tell you what you want to do within reason, but number 1 doesn't do it for me. Number 2 does it for me.
You could always change number 1 to say
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
2.5%.
Yeah, you could do that, Lise?
I was at the Real Producers Top Agent panel last week, and all of this obviously was coming up, and Josh Galindo, I mean, he flips, he's a seller, as well as an agent, but he said he gets the phone calls all the time, what are you paying? And his words were, you write me a shitty offer, you're gonna get a shitty commission. You write me a great offer, I'm gonna pay you a great commission. I mean, and that's just the way it is. He goes, heck, if somebody wrote me a great offer, I'd give him 4%. You know what I mean? He's like, but that's just how he says it. He doesn't stick a number to it.
Correct, yeah. I mean, I think if you blurt out what your seller's paying, you're just doing wrong by your seller. You're showing your hand, and there's no reason to do that, okay? Unless they specifically want you to, but if my seller wanted to do that, I would try to talk him or her out of it and tell them the reason why I don't think that's a good idea. Let's just kind of go with number 2, okay? Maria's going to talk about this after the class and show you how to put them into a template in Transaction Desk, and click, 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 it's in your listing agreement automatically. You're not typing anything up, you're just hitting a couple of buttons, and it magically appears in additional terms, and it's a great thing, okay? So try to hang out for that if you can. What else we got, gang? Any issue? Ann?
Wasn't this optional last week, and that was mandatory?
You can put nothing in there if you want, but I think you need to put something in there, okay?
Otherwise, you just copy and paste this and the additional terms.
Yeah, that'll go down. I mean, again, if I'm on a listing presentation, I'm bringing probably an RPA with me, or at least page 2 to show the seller what's going to happen, and then I'm bringing this on a sheet of paper and showing it to my sellers and say, what do you guys think? Tim, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It looks like it's the same thing, because it is the same up until a certain spot, and you have to explain to them the difference. And I would think, with your recommendation of number 2, that's what they should go with. Okay? Or they might say, no, I don't want to put anything on there. All right, don't put anything on there. Okay? It's up to you and the seller. Okay? So all of this is directed by the seller. You're just giving them your advice on what we recommend to put on in the additional terms to make the transition go a little bit smoother. Okay? Right, Teresa?
Yeah, I have a question.
I knew you would.
I have
Yeah.
a listing agreement signed in June. The house is still on the market. I had to have my seller sign the amendment that was due August 15, and therefore I don't have an option to use this because I already have the listing agreement. I just have a verbal from the seller on the compensation offer to the buyer initially.
Well,
This
what do you have with the seller? So I'm the seller. What did you tell me in June? Did you talk about
Yes.
the new stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But these are, they think they're smart now with the amendment.
Okay,
And so we agreed 2.5 to each side
okay.
at that time. Now with the amendment, they're like, okay, so we don't really have to pay to the buyer's
Mhm.
agent. How do I go about it? How do I present it to, or keep them with the 2.5?
So you present this to your seller. In June, they signed it, and they were good at 2.5, right?
yes.
And now you bring the new form, the amendment, that says they have to sign it, and they say, well, I don't have to pay the other side, right? What do you say?
Sure.
Do they have to pay the other side?
Then I'm gonna write you an offer, you're gonna take it to your seller, my offer.
No, you're the seller. I brought you the amendment that confirms my 2.5%. But 3 months ago, you were cool paying 2.5 to the buyer.
Right.
And then 2 months go by and you've seen all this stuff and you say, Tim, just so I understand it, I'm cool with giving you 2.5, but I know I'm going to give 2.5 to the buyer side back in June, but I think now I don't want to give them anything. What's the conversation from there?
That's fine, we'll wait for the offer to come in. The purchase agreement is gonna dictate what the percentage is that they're asking you, the seller, to pay.
Right.
And when I send my RPA over representing my buyer to you to present to your.
You mean when the other agent sends over the offer, the buyer's
I'm
agent?
pretending I'm buyer agent, she's
Well,
listing agent.
Okay.
I'm sending her my offer at 2.5%. She presents to the seller and says, we have a perfect offer here at list price, asking for nothing except for the 2.5% to the agent.
Right.
And they say, well, we're not gonna pay the buyer.
Mhm.
Cool, they're gonna send it back to me rejected, the house doesn't sell. How many offers are gonna go by that the house doesn't sell over this, when the neighbor's house sold in 2 weeks?
Right. The point is, if your seller comes back and says, look, I don't want to pay the buyer's agent, sure, no worries, Teresa, I understand. Okay, let me give you the pros and cons of that. Okay, and if they don't want to pay it, they don't want to pay it. You can't force them to pay it. Okay, and you can't say something stupid like, well, agents aren't going to show your house, or your house is going to be on the market for 6 months, because you say stuff like that, you're going to lose your license. You really are. Okay, the party's over. Okay,
I think the agents are still gonna show, I showed a house that offered no compensation, but the agent had that conversation with me before I even showed it. And I said, understand, I'm gonna send you an offer that's probably gonna ask for compensation. She said, fine, I'll present it. I'm just letting you know they're probably not gonna pay.
Right.
I said, that's fine, if we choose to write an offer on it, I'm still gonna send it over to you with compensation.
You just got to be careful. Think of a year and a half ago when you're on a listing presentation and they're beating you up, and they only want to pay 4% total, 3 for you and 1 on the co-op, and then back then agents would say, well, that's okay, Teresa, but at 1%, a lot of agents aren't going to show your house. Agents said that all the time. You can't say that anymore. Okay, don't say that. Okay, because you're going to be made the example of by this guy Ketchmark. Okay, from the law firm. I'm serious. Yeah, Teresa.
I understand that the buyer can present an offer with whatever commission they want, but my point is, aren't they tied to the 2.5 that they agreed
Who?
initially? My seller.
I don't know. Are they?
The listing agreement, the original from June, because at that time they signed with 2.5 for each side.
Mm-hmm. So
Aren't they obligated?
So I'm your seller. You signed 3 months ago at 2.5.
Yes.
And what would happen for me not to pay that, or what?
Because they saw the amendment that said now
Right.
they don't have to pay, or it's negotiable to pay to the buyer.
Yeah. I changed my mind.
So they can do that, because
What are you going to call a cop? What are you going to do?
because they have a contract initially in June.
Right.
That they agreed
Right.
to that. So at this point, my conversation with an agent that is gonna show the house, that asked me, hey, how much are they offering for commission? I'm just gonna have to say it's negotiable as opposed to 2.5, which is what my seller initially agreed.
Again, we work for the seller.
You can't do that. If they said no, it's no.
Pretty much. It's just like you might. I saw one BBRA the other day. It was for 1 year. One of you guys hooked a buyer on the line for a year. I think that's selfish. I think you should not do that. Okay. The main reason is they can cancel tomorrow. But you got these people on the hook for a year, maybe nervous and shivering, like, holy shit, I'm with this agent for a year, and oh my God, what happens if the agent isn't doing a good job, or they disappear for a month?
They can just do a written cancellation, so you can put 10 years on there. They can
That's what I'm
cancel it
saying.
at any
But why put 10 years? Why put a year? I think that's putting undue pressure on the buyer, and it makes us look bad as an industry. Okay, that's just my 2 cents here. What I'm trying to find for you guys, real quick, if you go to Inman, which is one of our favorite websites here, and of course I can't find it, but there's an article in there from where is 36 million? Shit, Tim, I had it up here a minute ago. Oh, here we go. All right, that's the guy. That's public enemy number 1, in a nice way, of course. He's a real good guy, okay? Headline, this is a couple days ago. Michael Ketchmark, he's the attorney for the plaintiffs that won all the money. Every move you make, we'll be watching you. Who's he going to be watching? Us, right? And if you go through this article, I don't think you have to subscribe to Inman to get this. I do, which means you get certain articles in advance. But I think this is a week, so you might be able to find it. But it's a bunch of questions that a woman at Inman asked him about the industry. And some of the questions are really, really cool. As a matter of fact, he put in here, what are you seeing, Michael, in these webinars and forums that's concerning you? It'll get a look at this answer. There's a huge desire with some of these large corporate brokers to continue this because they are literally tens of billions of dollars that they have been fleeced out of the pockets of the homeowners.
Terrible.
By him.
So.
Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. I'm looking for a really good attorney for industry to debate this idiot, you know, and stand up for us. But he's saying here that we've been fleecing our clients for billions of dollars. Right.
Fleeced everybody with their class action. The four attorneys got $100 million each, and the homeowner got like $2,800.
Yeah.
So who did the fleecing there?
You mentioned different interpretations of the new rules. Have there been any different interpretations of the new rules? They change all the time, right? What interpretations are you seeing, Michael? Not a day goes by where someone doesn't send me some type of an Instagram or TikTok or Facebook page or something on X or social media where someone's saying, hey, this means this or that means that. He's talking about these little workarounds that agents are trying to get slick with, that they're watching this stuff, okay? Let me see if there was one more I think you'd get a kick out of. Maybe not. All right, let's get out of there. Did I get kicked out? No, okay. But the point is, buyer beware, agent beware. If you're doing an open house, he could have someone walking in there. You know, you get a phone call, it could be a shopper for this guy, for his law firm.
Watch what you put on social media.
Yes.
Really. Like if you're complaining.
Where's the last one? Preemptive, I want to know the buyer's agent now. The settlement prohibited outside the MLS. If there's something prohibited, what mention you mentioned going to? Oh, here it is. You mentioned you're going to be looking at what happens. Are you doing anything this week or next in terms of prepping for this deadline or deciding how you're going to police it? Sure. There's a team of lawyers from all of these different law firms that are involved in this. Several plaintiffs' law firms with entire teams of attorneys. We have weekly calls. We are taking aggressive action steps to prepare to launch this. We plan on staying on top of this as it rolls out. So the point is just agent beware, because these guys, there's going to be more lawsuits, I'm sure of it. I just don't want any of you to be in the lawsuit.
Aren't they introducing a new real estate system with $200 referral fee, and it's all digital at the Inman event?
I don't know.
Didn't anybody see that? They're trying to replace us.
Yeah, oh sure, why not? I mean, hey, it's evolution, gang. Okay, but the point is just do the right thing. If you have to make a decision, and the reason you're doing it is because, and the outcome of it is you make more money, you decided the wrong way. I know that's hard to believe, you know, that you might make less money and still do the deal, but if it comes down to that, that's where they're going to nail us. That we're the greedy realtors, that we don't care about our clients, and they use this fancy word fiduciary. Okay, that we put our financial ability below the clients. The clients is above ours when it comes to that. Amy, did you have your hand up?
Yes. Question is about the new house. So my buyer want to buy the new house. Some builder give you 2%. Some builder give you 3%.
Some give you 4%.
I put in 3%.
Yeah.
If you want to.
If they buy the house, the builder give 2%. I don't want to charge anything from the buyer. I
Okay.
just want to charge whatever the builder
Okay.
give us. So I should put 3 or 2. I'll addendum. I put additional term.
Cross it out. Cross it out.
You
Cross
can
it out.
Put three,
Just
put
get it under
3%,
contract.
and then you can amend it with your
Yes.
buyer. If they're only giving 2 and you don't want your buyer to pay it, you can amend that agreement down, but you can't amend it up.
Right.
So put 3.
We're going to make it simple. We're going to make it simple for you so there's not another form, another change order form. You just cross out the 3, make it a 2. You initial it, your client initials it, and you date it. That's all you got to do.
Oh, if they give 2, I just send an addendum.
You just cross off the 3 and make it a 2, and initial it. That's all you got to do.
The BVRA?
Yeah.
That's all you got to do, okay? And one thing I found that we can do, and this might change, at least for now, if you want to have 2 BBRAs, you can. Like, oh, wow, this pretty, holy shit, 2 BBRAs. You can have one for resales and one for new homes. So take advantage of that. If you have a buyer that might wander into Lennar, or, well, not Lennar, somebody, you know, you can put that one higher than a resale, but that's up to you.
It's the same forms.
It's the BBRA. That's the form. But you can have 2 of them, one for resales, one for new homes. Not 4 for resales, okay? Where you're gonna pick the best one when you get to that point. Let's not go there, okay? So,
Do we have any additional terms clause to add into the BBRA as you're having in the listing agreement?
no,
Nothing?
not yet.
Okay.
No. All right, gang, that's all I got for you. Thanks for staying late again. I know these meetings are going over late. Lisa, thank you for breakfast. Breakfast, Lisa, everybody, thank you. See you all soon. Get the hell out of here.